good, everybody? This is Board Figures, and today I wanted to take a look at my top 10 figures for 2023. And you might be asking, like, this is not 10 figures, this is 15 figures. What are you talking about? And you would be right. The way I see it, top 10 videos are just an excuse for us to look at a whole bunch of really good action figures. And while by the end of this video I will get down to the top 10 figures that really were my favorites this year, I feel like there's no reason not to just appreciate a ton of great figures, and I hope it's entertaining for you guys. If there's any figures you thought about getting but needed a closer look at, maybe we'll go over that figure here, or maybe you don't know what you want to branch out and collect more of. Maybe this will also give you that kickstart. I don't know, anything to feed the addiction, anything to feed it, so I'm here to provide that sustenance for you guys. And I figured I'd start with 15 figures that did not make the top 10, didn't even make the top 20, because like I said, again, we're going to do things different. After we go through these top 15 honorable mentions figures, I'm then going to set up my top 20 figures for the year and do a little Dan Larson situation, where I pick them out, talk about it, decide, which one, I don't know, and go through the agony live of trying to decide what my top 10 figures were, because at this point, like I said, I have an idea of the top 20. I don't know which ones are going to be the top 10, and the more I look at it and try not to think about it, the more stressed out I get. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys will enjoy it. But without further ado, I think it's time we take a look at some of these honorable mentions that we've got here. And I don't know, do I just start picking randomly? I guess that's how we do it. I got to go for the guy in the front middle. This is the Fortnite solo mode series, I think it's called, from Jazzwares. And they've just been putting out some really fun figures at this scale. That's one thing I appreciate about the Fortnite license, is that you literally have just about anything in it. And I know Hasbro had the Fortnite license. 2023, they really didn't put anything out for it. It's seeming like the license is dead in the water. Hopefully somebody picks it up, though, because there's just so much fun to be had with some of these little designs. And Axo is absolutely one of them. Honestly, he almost made it in the top 20, but there is one other solo mode figure from Jazzwares that made it instead. Okay, which one next? Let's go ahead and get this guy out of here, because this is so fun, right? This is one of my most fun figures on my shelf, just because with a little minimum effort, I created a figure and an idea for the character that I really enjoy on my shelf. And it all started with not being satisfied with the head sculpt that came on this body. That's obviously a big contribution to why it wasn't even close to making the top 20, is because I had to replace the head. The head that it came with, pretty alright. I don't know. I'm going to be honest, I think it's absolute garbage. I think the original head sculpt for this figure is absolute garbage. But as you can see, I've put on the Dagobah Luke head sculpt from the 2-pack that came with Yoda. Incredible 2-pack. And I unfortunately, the pegs for both this figure and the Dagobah Luke were not compatible for getting it to sit right. So I had to mess around with some modeling in Blender, 3D print out a little peg, and it does have a replacement peg in there. Unfortunately, it's made out of a normal resin, so it can break if I push it too hard. But for the most part, it stood the test of time. I don't think it's that big of a deal. At some point, I'll have to try an ABS-like resin and give him one that will be a little bit more long-lasting. But that's Luke. And because I didn't mention it, that figure is I believe it's from The Mandalorian, but it's based off of his Return of the Jedi look more, because the rumor is that it was the original figure that was supposed to come with the Rancor, but obviously the Rancor didn't succeed, and I'm giving you guys way too much information. Let's look at the Magnet Guard. I think this figure is beautiful. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions surrounding this figure, some of the strange articulation choices with the leg, and people have problems with these things popping off. Mine are not a problem at all, so I don't know. I mean, I guess if I were to push up further here, it'd probably pop off, but I don't know. I haven't had much problem with the figure. I think it was beautiful. I found it in the wild, which I was not expecting, and it had to come home with me. Incredible figure, just not enough to make the top 20. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at... Yeah, we're going to go for this. I was thinking, like, we're kind of going in the line. I want to jump around a little bit more, but we'll go ahead and get it. It's in my hand. This is the McFarlane Toys Nightfall Batman, and this figure shows the potential that McFarlane Toys has. It's got improved plastic, the articulation functions better, it looks good. It's using a lot of really smart processes with where they use paint and where they just do injection molded plastic. And it seems like McFarlane, Toddy Boy, As much as I think he's has some really dumb business practices, I gotta give it to him. This figure is beautiful, and as far as I'm concerned, outside of the Mafex, this is the best Batman figure you can get. All of that, though, it still wasn't enough to put this figure in the top 20, but it is, as you can see, it's just beautiful. I'm hoping my light helps capture the texture of it. For the most part, it's good. It's a little glossy here. I don't think you notice it as much in person. Overall, just the textures look great. The finish looks great. This is easily one of the best McFarlane figures they've put out, and it seems like they're getting better and better. And if the universe decides that McFarlane is going to take the Marvel Legends license from Hasbro, as he seems to be trying to do, I'm kind of here for it. I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't mind seeing some Marvel figures at this level. And we can move on to the next one. Let's see what we got. Let's go for good old G.I. Joe. This is going to be rock and roll. This figure is a lot of fun. To me, this shows the potential the G.I. Joe line has. This is fully pinless, all of their articulation, nailed to a T. And I think this figure represents the peak of G.I. Joe Classified incoming. I do think this next year is going to be a big year for Classified. And they've had some bangers this year, man. I'm telling you, they had the Katzenbogen Bazooka, which I really love. I think outside of the reuse of the roadblock legs, that figure was almost perfect. There's another figure that's on this list. There's a lot of great figures that have come out, and a lot I haven't been able to get my hands on, but I was able to get my hands on. Rock and Roll, and it's just a good looking figure, man. And next, let's go for an overseas brand. I don't think we've done one yet, have we? No, I think we've done only domestic. This is going to be the SH Figuarts Kid Naruto from the original series. You know, it looks exactly like Kid Naruto. I know some people think he's a little chunky. I don't know. I remember Naruto being a little chubby little boy. You know, he went to the Kids Gap and he shopped in the Husky section, and that's all right. You know, that's the road to the Hokage. It starts with somebody who ain't there at all, and they got to get there. So I'm fine with him being just a lightly husky, you know, just a little bit. And I think the only thing about this figure that could have been better is the scale. I think he's just a little bit too tall. He's a little bit oversized, especially when you put him next to Kakashi. It's really only noticeable when somebody says something, so you're welcome. Now you won't be able to unsee it if you ever see the figure side by side. I think that's not enough for me to not enjoy this figure. I mean, it was enough that I sold my Shippuden version of Naruto when I got this, because as much as I love Shippuden Naruto, it doesn't beat this. Let's go for this one next. I think this is an interesting pick here to put in the honorable mentions. He's a dusty little boy. He's been gathering some dust because I think we got him toward the beginning of the year around the release of the Mario movie. And I think Jakks Pacific is working some magic with these little figures. I'm not going to say it's as good as my SH Figuarts Mario, but it gives it a damn challenge. I mean, it's even got some of the light work on the diaphragm joint. You can't get too much out of it, but it's there, you know, it's more than nothing. I think the only thing I could have wished for more on this is that the head could actually like move up and down and tilt maybe some, but unfortunately that's just not going to be the case. You could try and like go in there and Dremel stuff, but I've tried. This head is like a doll's head. It's like hollow and like a hard plastic, and when you soften it, you'll notice it's like a Barbie doll head. So you're really not going to be able to get much give out of it the way the ball socket pops in there. I mean, I love the little boot details, the eyes, the way they follow you. I don't know. It's a great figure. I love it. Let's go for the Spider-Punk. As you can see, I've got a custom head sculpt. It was sculpted by, I think his name is Orobus Nunez on Instagram. Incredible sculptor. Absolutely loved it. Got a hold of the STL, 3D printed it. This was when I was just dipping my toes into some 3D printing. I hand painted it myself. You know, it came out pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. And I think it just took this body to a whole nother level. And that's not to say this body needed this head sculpt. You know, I think if it needed this head sculpt, I wouldn't put it in the honorable mentions. I say that having done the same thing with Luke. Luke needed the head sculpt, okay? But the Spider-Punk mask that he comes with is more than serviceable. I came out of the theater and I loved Hobie Brown, and I just had to get this head sculpt on. And I think I got this head sculpt on this figure 3 days after the movie came out. You know, it was quick work. I had to make sure I had him represented on the shelf. And I gotta concede that this is not the most accurate head sculpt to the movie. Like, there are other sculptors who I think have come out with head sculpts since that are more accurate. But I just love the stylized look of Orobus's own style when it comes to his sculpting. Let's see, what next? Let's go for old Luthen here. I think the Black Series has done an incredible job this year. I think they've put out just some absolutely incredible figures. And this guy, being such a basic, simple guy, you know, this is just that man in clothes type aesthetic whenever it comes to Black Series figures sometimes, where you got Star Wars characters that are just normal-ass people in clothes. But Luthen here, he was just a character I had to get. I think in a lot of the recent Star Wars shows and movies, all of them have been misses for me. They miss the importance of good storytelling. They're trying so hard to puppeteer the husk of a franchise that did things that the people who are making it now can't even begin to understand how and why they did what they did. But Andor, I say all that, Andor is an incredible show that is well worth your time. It's got some great characters in it, and Luthen is no exception. I just had to get him because he was so badass, and I have zero regrets on it because his articulation, surprisingly, is actually great. You've got this ball at the waist, big ass butterfly joints that honestly work better than most Marvel Legends. It's kind of unreal. He's got this jacket that's honestly pretty soft and it's split. It gets out of the way. It is no issue at all, but it does give him a bit of heft. This is a heavy figure. I know that his articulation is so simple, but it's such a consistent formula that the Black Series has gotten so down-packed, and I think this simple character being so much fun to handle just shows how clearly they care about getting the Black Series right. I think Hasbro, you know what, if we got to mention it here, I'm going to say the best toy line of the year is Star Wars Black Series. I think SH Figure Arts has had some fun stuff come out. I'm a big fan of a lot of these toy companies who are coming out with things in the third party, independent, but with a line from a publicly traded company. I think that Hasbro has really done something special with the Black Series this year. It seems like they've consistently been getting better and better, and every single Black Series I got this year has been incredible, and it's made me go back and get figures that I didn't know I needed from before, because I just didn't, it's a lot to learn when you're new to the hobby, understanding where the lines have come, how they've gotten to where they are, and seeing the difference in a figure from 5 or 6 years ago with Black Series and a figure from 2023. It's insane how different they are. So seeing the improvements for this line, like Hasbro, they've got the ability to, I think Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe is doing great. Like I said, I think 2024 is going to be Year of the Joe. I truly do believe that, but I think 2023 goes to the Black Series. They just did some magic, man.
We interrupt this program to bring you the best non-6-inch action figure line of 2023, the Star Wars Vintage Collection. Whether it's Darth Vader or Cad Bane, Death Watch or Tusken Warrior, Hunter or Pre Vizsla, or even fucking Chopper, the Vintage Collection did an incredible job of capturing absolutely everything you could ask for in 4 inches of fun.
They might even make you come.
The Vintage Collection. Sick as fuck.
All right, where were we? Oh yeah, right, the Black Series. Here's one more Black Series, just so I don't have to talk about them again. This is going to be the Black Series Hera from the Ahsoka series. And as I've said, Ahsoka series, not a very good show. Not a show I enjoy very much. But the figures, the art direction behind the character designs in the show is incredible. And the figures that have come out to represent it are even better. Hera goes so fucking hard. I don't think you understand. The articulation on her is the best in the Black Series. They are really honing in what I think is the best formula for articulation with this line, and Hera here has got all the upgrades. She's got the butterfly joint that goes all the way around like a Mafex figure, not just front and back. That's like a McFarlane style. It goes up and down. It's pretty unreal. You even got ball joints at the wrist. We gotta pop that off to take a look. You've got a ball here that goes into the hand, giving you movement in all directions. So fantastic. They have removed the bicep swivel on her, but she still gets pretty damn good range with it, and I think this figure has some of the best articulation in the Black Series, and really shows how well they can nail some of these very simple characters that are really fun to have on your shelf, even if they're not gonna dominate them with power and sex appeal. Although, Hera, she is Royal Pain, and Royal Pain, woo, shit.
Daddy's little girl.
Oh shit, I forgot. We have one more Black Series. This is the Rocket Trooper. I think it's a Gaming Greats. I don't remember. It's a Rocket Trooper. The main reason this is here is because this was my first Stormtrooper on the 2020 Stormtrooper articulation, and ever since then I've gone crazy with them. They're just so fun. They're so well done. It is like the perfect Stormtroopers. And I've gotten a handful of other variants since, because this mold, this articulation, again, Black Series be doing it this year. Great figure, old mold, but it was my introduction to the Stormtroopers, and I think it's great. I think next we're going to go for Elektra. This is just a pretty simple Marvel Legends release. She doesn't have the craziest articulation, but she does have double jointed pinless arms and legs on a female figure. One of the first, this year kind of made that more norm. She's at least in the first 10 figures, 10 female Marvel Legends to have pinless arms, I think. And just a good looking figure. I don't know. I didn't know anything about this look, but I thought it was a really cool figure. And even after I've got it, I just think it's a great looking figure that's badass on the shelf. Sometimes it's just got to be something simple. It don't have to be all too much to be fun. Next, we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Black Widow. I think a lot of people probably have this figure at least in their top 20, but it just didn't make it in my top 20. It's definitely not going to be in my top 10. It's just, this may be the peak of Marvel Legends, but that's not saying much, man. Like, the bar is so low for Marvel Legends right now, and there is maybe one or two, I can't remember. There's at least one Marvel Legends in my top 20, but it's biased. That's a completely biased pick. And this one, though it is like the best articulation they've done, it's missing some things. It really needs like a boot swivel. If they could have added it there, like at the ankle, like they've done on some of their Fortnite figures, that would have been really great. Not at this massive bulging calf that makes it look ugly and gaudy. I'm glad they didn't do that, but definitely needs some boot swivel, I think. Mine came with this QC issue of the neck. She got that you know what I'm saying? Stop talking about women like that, okay? I didn't do it. You did. It's a great figure. It's a great figure, but it's just not, it's not doing enough for me, It's not doing enough for me. It's just all right. And I think we're going to go for Luffy next. we can save the big boy for last. My favorite look for Luffy in the show. It has some issues that people don't like as much, that this this mold was based off of, I think, the Imagination Works Luffy, which had like a hinge that allowed this piece to go up, and you can kind of see the seam of where it's a separate piece. Even has the peg hole, but it doesn't move like that, so it can't get out of the way. You can't get much motion past that, which for some people is a deal breaker on this figure. I totally get that, but I think outside of that, the figure moves great. It looks great. I love it. And the last figure we're going to go over in our honorable mentions is going to be Khonshu Build-A-Figure from Marvel Legends. I think I was way more into this figure when I first got it. I think it's kind of worn on me a little bit because it is very simple. Molded plastic with these very simple splotches that are printed on that don't look particularly great. But I think at a distance, all of it considered, if you're not analyzing every single detail, it is a great illusion, and it captures the look great. I think they put a ton of effort into the sculpt on the skull and the neck and the printing on the head sculpt. And while, again, I think the Marvel shows are in the same boat with Star Wars shows for me for the most part, where they're all just kind of unnecessary and mediocre. But I do think that the Moon Knight Khonshu design was really great. I liked the performance from, what's his name? F. Murray Abraham? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I Googled that man's name like an hour or two ago, and I have no idea what else he's in. But his performance as Khonshu is great. Figure is great. One of my favorite Build-A-Figures of all time. All right, we're back in it, and now I've set up what was supposed to be the top 20 figures of the year that I was then going to break down and go through the top 10. But somehow I got off, and I got 22 figures here. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know which ones I would pull out. All of these, I considered higher than the honorable mentions. This was meant to be a batch of all the figures that are contenders for top 10, while the honorable mentions really didn't stand a chance, but they were really fun figures. So I guess we got 22 of them. I mean, I guess there's just more entertainment, more fun to be had going through some of these figures. But, once we get 2 of them out, I guess those will be my top 20. But that puts a little bit of pressure on which ones I pick first, because that says I like them the least. It's I don't know. I don't want it to be thought like that, because then that means I got to keep that momentum going. I'm gonna say just listen to the top 10. Whatever it is after that doesn't really matter as much. Shoot, who do I pull out? Whose idea was this shit? What the fuck? Oh man. Gosh, I got so many Black Series here too that I feel like, I guess I gotta pull out. Oh Lord, not Wang. Okay, yeah, there you are, Wang. I had to pick my Wang back up. This is the Black Series Hunter. This is from his season 2 appearance in Bad Batch. I had no intentions of getting this character at all, but I found it in store. It kind of just caught my eye, and I was like, I do really like Hunter. I'm a big fan of my OG Black Series Hunter, so might as well, right? And if I don't like it, I can sell it. Try and get it to another collector out there who's looking for it. But when I opened it, I got the figure out. I just think it's such a good look. I think it's such a good look for Hunter. I feel like this look might even be better than his season 1 appearance. Figure is just as good as the season 1 appearance, maybe even better. I'm not gonna say that. It's missing all the paint apps on the backpack and on the gauntlet that I ended up adding myself to my original Hunter. But it's a great figure. I guess it's not really in content for the top 10. But it's just so good. It's so surprisingly good. Oh, and we're back in it. I feel like I can't do this little figure, but it's also so fun. This is easily one of my favorite 3 3/4 inch figures, and I feel like at least one needs to stay in there for consideration longer than this, I think I gotta go. Let's see. Between these two, oh, this is hard. These are both such great figures. They really are. And I mean, as far as rule of cool goes, these are some of the most badass characters in figure form that you can get. But as far as qualities of characters or figures themselves, the Trunks, it looked like it was going to be incredible. It really is incredible, but it's just a little loose. The arms like to pop off at the bicep. It's a little bit glossier than you'd expect. They're usually more matte than this. And it was just a bit of an off figure. I think SH Figure Arts missed the mark a little bit with this figure. That being said, this is perfect. This is going to stand the test of time as a Trunks figure on my shelf, as a definitive future Trunks. But it could have been better. And I don't think the same can be said about the Miles Morales figures. Maybe, Sentinel might have a better depiction someday. So maybe there is a better alternative that might be out there one day. But I think it's just the fact that he's kind of thin and a bit fiddly, and I love posing him around. He's super action oriented, but the ab crunch is also a thing. He pops apart. You can't crunch him as much as you would like just because of the proportions, which, you can make up for it a bit with the legs, but even still, if I want to get this low, I'm popping him apart, So I love this figure, but I do think there's a better Spider-Man that could potentially be in the running. And while I absolutely loved Across the Spider-Verse, one of my favorite movies this year, so fucking wonderfully beautiful, and as an animator, it makes my heart soar. It's one of those movies that I gush over, and the figure is also incredible, but I don't think it's in the running. Oh man, those are those are some hard triggers to pull. Honestly, we're at least at the top 20 now, and I kind of threw a wrench in it with pulling out 2 at the same time, but that's so you guys can't hold it against me what order it is. They're in no order until we get to the top 10, then I will put them in order. This is a fun figure. This figure is definitely going spoilers, but that Sun Wukong, it just does something for me. Speaking of, I forgot to wear my ring today. Damn, feels bad, man. No. I do love this Obi-Wan figure. I made a whole video on it. I think it's super fun. I think it's a great figure. Definitely showcases how well the Black Series has been doing as of late, and I don't think this figure is any exception to it. I think this figure is perfect for what it was going for. I don't think you could ask for all too much more. I just don't think it's not going to be in the top 10. It's just not. Okay. I haven't even really looked at the big guys, but they're also good. Do I want all of the big guys as in my top 10? I don't know. I'm already questioning things. I'm gonna make some people mad with this pick. People really love the Jada Toys Street Fighter figures, and I think this figure is fantastic. Especially at the price range, they are showing that you can get incredible figures with great articulation that look just like the characters you're going for at an unbeatable price. It is incredible for all the technical reasons, but this is my damn list, and we don't go by rules. We just go by what we like and what's fun. And this figure, it just it wasn't as fun for me. That's not to say it's not fun. When I got the first copy of this figure, all of the face printing was shifted to the left dramatically. It was really bad. And then I had to return the figure, or I had to return the figure and get a refund because they didn't have any stock. So I just had them refund the money back to me so I could buy it elsewhere that had stock because I just wanted to get the dang figure. This is the second one I've got. It's still shifted to the left just a little bit, and it's got this speck of missing paint on the nose, or extra paint, I don't know. It's something I could potentially clean up and ease up, but just because I never had a painless experience with this figure, it doesn't make it for me. But I am looking forward to the Mega Man figure. I want to get their Chester Cheetah figure. Jada Toys is doing incredible work, and they deserve all the praise. It's just not. It's not in it for me. You know, I'm a Honda main. Okay, I'm a Honda main. You know, I need a Honda. Ryu's cool. I'll play some Ryu sometimes, but I need a Honda, man. Jada, if you're listening, I'm waiting for that Honda. Oh, it only gets harder and harder as we go, don't it? How many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And if my counting was wrong, no, it wasn't. I don't know, man. Damn, about to knock Kakashi over. Kakashi it is. Oh no. He was chosen from the Shake. I love this figure. It is easily one of my favorite SH figure arts ever. It's an incredible character. It feels so unique. I don't know what it is. Something about this figure. It almost feels cheaper, but I kind of like it. I don't know why. I really enjoy this figure. I think it's beautiful. The most insane articulation in feet and ankles you've ever seen. My good golly gosh, that's crazy. Inhuman. Obviously, I think Naruto has the same thing. But we're talking about Kakashi, okay? Shut up. It's a fun figure. It's great. It truly is. But I don't think it's going to be my top 10. I think I'm already knowing what I got to pull out next, but I'm not happy about it, okay? I gotta grab the Marvel Legends X-Men, what is it? X-Men 97? Shit, I really hope that's right, because somebody's gonna give me shit if I'm wrong. But I love this figure. It really is great. As you can see, I've done a little bit of the wash to kind of bring out the details in the hairs. I'm not the most thrilled about it. I think it looks better than how some other people have done it. But I don't know. It's alright. At a distance, it looks good. But I love this figure. It truly is like the perfect Wolverine figure. I like it more than the Mafex figures outside of articulation. Like, I would like it to have a diaphragm cut. You know, that would definitely put this figure over the top. But aesthetically, I like it more than the Mafex figure. It's shorter, it's stouter. I love the head sculpt. I love the hairy arms. I love the colors. I love the underwear that goes down a little bit more. It has boot swivel. Black Widow, I'm looking at you. It's great. It's so fun. Easily my favorite Marvel Legends of 2023. In case you couldn't tell, I'm a big Wolverine fan. I didn't used to, or I haven't been for a while, but as a kid, Wolverine, that was my dude, man. I loved Wolverine, and that figure is so good. But it's not top 10 worthy. I'm sorry. Most favoritist figures because childhood, maybe. But top 10 of 2023, no. We had too many bangers this year. I mean, you can see this is stacked, okay? And if you don't know, oh my gosh, Exodia fell over and it ruined my recording. Come on, Exodia. You want to make the top 10, don't you? You better chill out, okay? The last guy that fell over, he got booted out of here. You don't want to end up like Kakashi. Let's see. Do I talk about a figure? How do we do this? What do we do? I need some Dan Larson guidance. This is probably the best G.I. Joe figure that's been put out. Maybe people don't agree with me. That's fine. You know, I don't have the Range Viper, but it's just reuse of Outback, so I'm sure it's good. But you know, I have my gripes with the Outback Buck. I mean, this is a great G.I. Joe figure. I don't know, man. There's so much. There's so much. Look at the leathering. You can see they've dry brushed it to make it stand out a little more, to make it look like real leather. They went above and beyond. You got the gold and the silver hits. You got the badges, the print, the head sculpt. That's a daddy right there, you know what I'm saying?
Pause.
I don't think I can pull them out yet. yet. How are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5 more. Jeez. That's a lot of figures. I guess we gotta go here. This is the Joy Toy Candy Frog. Such a beautiful figure. Easily one of the most beautiful head sculpts and paint jobs this year. So clean, so crisp, so lifelike. I love it. Not to mention the giant robotic mech arms that you can pose and do all kinds of stuff. I got it throwing up a thumbs up here. Wears it like a backpack. They do have a tendency to fall off. It's a bit annoying. I stuck some sticky tack into the holes and put it in there, and that seems to have done the trick. I mean, fun soft goods. She comes with a lot of really fun accessories. Obviously got the headphones. Candy Frog is a great figure. This one pains me to take it out because it's just so beautiful, and it sets off, it sets off the vibes. And I do want my top 10 to have some good vibes, some distribution, not all this meat fest. So I don't know. I don't think I can take her out, man. I think I gotta keep Candy Frog. She's just so dope. Monks. I can't. No, I don't know. 5. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I think I finally get it, Dan. I finally get it. I do. Oh goodness. This isn't even a bit. This is not a bit. Sometimes we're doing bits, but this is not a bit. Spider-Man's gotta be in it for me. I know it doesn't have the original head sculpt, but this figure was so good, so fun, that I felt so inspired to finally get a little bit better at sculpting in Blender, trying to get good at 3D printing, really hone my 3D printing down so that I can make, sell, and produce these head sculpts. I painted them myself. It prompted such a fun project, and I feel like for my list, maybe it's not a good for an objective list, but again, we're not doing objectives here. All right, we're subjecting the hell out of this, and this figure subjectively was one of my most fun this year that I've played with more than anything else, and I don't think I can take him out, man. I just got him a little bit longer. I just got him. We've got 4 figures here that I've only gotten in the last couple weeks. Oh, come on, Captain Carrot. You made Anakin curl his toes. Vegeta didn't know. Vegeta said you're gonna have to try harder than that, Toots. Oh man, this is a hard one. We got 4 figures I've gotten in the last couple weeks. I know they got some recency bias, but they're so good. They're so good. Oh man, do I? I'm looking at the big guys because we haven't got rid of a big guy. Maybe it's time to get rid of a big guy. I love I can't think about these 2 yet. I can't think about those 2. Exodia, I really want it to be in the top 10 just because it's so cool. But when you hold it, it's a little different. Master Wang, that's just a great figure for the price, man. You get so much, and you can get that thing pretty dang cheap if you wait for some good deals on AliExpress, and I think it's so good. I think I gotta get rid of Exodia, man. I hate it, man. If you guys are not on that Bandai Spirits, or even Kotobukiya has some Yu-Gi-Oh statues, you gotta get on it, or model kits, not statues, because this baby can move. All right, he can move, but I wouldn't recommend moving him too much without being careful, because he is made out of some brittle plastic. It's pieced together. He feels sturdy though. He feels solid. It's not a huge problem. I don't want to make the figure look bad. There is a rumor that SH Figure Arts will be coming out with an Exodia at some point that'll be more classic. I kind of don't even care anymore. I love the way this figure looks. I love its modern upgrades. I think it adds to the design well. I love its proportions. I don't think if SH Figure Arts puts out a Exodia that is more classic, I don't think I'm going to like it as much. Plus, it's going to be at least triple the price of this thing. And I just don't know that I can say that that's worth it. I love this figure, but it's not going to be in the top 10. Oh, I think since I got that figure, because that figure, you can get that model kit for like $30 on AliExpress or something. I think since I got it, I was imagining that it wouldn't be in the top 10. So that's kind of thrown me off a little bit. It's kind of thrown me off. Let's see. Start doing that. Oh, goodness. Okay. We're 14 now? Is that where we're at? I feel like we haven't taken anything out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh no. I gotta get moving, don't I? Man, I'm literally just sitting here staring at these figures now. Like, I can't pull you out. I can't pull you out. I think I got to pull out General Hawk. I think it's an incredible figure, and I think a lot of people would want a G.I. Joe classified representation in this top 10, or in any top 10, because G.I. Joe Classified is another line that Hasbro kills it with, which makes it even more heartbreaking that Marvel Legends is so mediocre. But General Hawk's incredible figure that does a lot more than we see from Hasbro lately, with some painting to bring out some of the detail on the leather. Really see it there. It goes all the way around. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties that took me a while to figure out. But yeah, we got General Hawk, probably one of the best G.I. Joe Classified figures of the year, in my opinion. But unfortunately, not going to make the top 10. Now, looking at what we got here, I got a couple SH Figure Arts. I got a couple Black Series. Kragnar, I don't think Kragnar's going nowhere, baby. This thing is beautiful. I've also got Captain Carrot, Starkiller, Asura Red Demon. Those are all within the last couple weeks, so recency bias may play a little bit of a factor, but they're also just so good for very specific reasons. I love Master Wang. I think I gotta keep Candy Frog in here. Monks. Monks is it's like the best figure at this scale this year. It's so fun, so cool, so well articulated. So I think maybe I do take out Candy Frog. I love her. She's wonderful, but I really don't think. That's hard, man. That's hard. Okay, let's look at SH Figure Arts for a second. Majin Buu had a re-release, and obviously I'm super ecstatic about that. This figure needed a re-release. Those resale prices were kind of crazy, but I don't know. I really enjoyed this figure, and it's, the Buu saga was such a big part of my childhood, but so was Dragon Ball GT, and I know people love it or hate it, but gosh, these are like some of the best. This is when SH Figure Arts is at their best, man. I don't know. Vegeta's gotta stay, and Buu, it's so good. I don't know. Okay, I gotta make a decision. I really do. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're looking at Darth Malgus and Starkiller. This is hard, y'all. Starkiller is great. He really is. But he's a little glossy on the face. Articulation is pretty fantastic, but so is it on Darth Malgus, and he's so big, and I think the fact that Starkiller doesn't come with both lightsabers in this version, because they had to keep it exclusive for that Hasbro PulseCon 3-pack with the Stormtroopers that's way overpriced. Kind of a missed opportunity. Outside of that, it's so great, but Darth Malgus, it just does something, man. It just does something, so I think we're going to take out Starkiller, put back old Malgi. Ooh, that one hurt. That one might be one I regret. That one might not be the right one. Okay, let's count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Two more. Again, like I said, I just got Asura Red Demon very recently. But as you can, if you can't tell, this thing is so beautiful on camera. In person, it's just so good. It came in just barely squeaked in the end of the year. It's supposed to come out like Q3 of the year. My theory is that they held off on it because they wanted that PulseCon, or not PulseCon, I'm over here talking about that convention exclusive though that V-Toys did of the Asura where it's green. I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think they held off on releasing the official just to give that version a chance. Because this red one's is killer. It's killer. Spider-Man, he's got to stay. Very important in the year. Captain Carrot, this is great for many reasons. One, it is so fun as a figure because just look at it. But then as a McFarlane Toys figure, this shows where they're heading, their potential. It's so good. There's so much that's improved on it that works so much better. The ab crunch is so much better than it's ever been before. They made the diaper piece even softer, and I'll make a video going over him soon. But he's just like peak McFarlane Toys, peak action figure, peak super fun, just only something that really, really works as well as it does as a toy. And I gotta keep him, And him being McFarlane Toys and being that bigger scale, it kind of works in his case. Whereas with Batman, it's a little out of scale because He's this giant anthropomorphic, super powered bunny rabbit. Like, the thing can be 7 feet tall. I don't give a damn. It's dope. Monks. I can't not keep monks. I'm sorry. I just think that there's room worthy for the 3.75 inch scale, and that figure is just so fun. It was so much fun trying to hunt it down. I saw Preternia showing it off like 6 months before I eventually saw it in stores, and it was so much worth the wait. It was such a fun figure to find. Plus it's like $10, and you can't beat it. I'm doing a whole lot of talking just to avoid picking. I think I gotta take out the Majin Buu. Incredible re-release. So glad that they re-released it. Easily one of my favorite figures in my collection, but I think the fact that it did come out a previous year, it did already exist, you know, it makes it a little bit less exciting as being like, oh my gosh, we finally got this thing. It had been out, but it is so good that, you know, it deserved to fight for the top 10 spot like this. Oh boy, one more, y'all. What's it gonna be? There is a 0% chance that I am not going to immediately regret whatever figure I pull out last. Even at this point, like, there's some figures that, like Starkiller and Boo, specifically those two, like the rest I think I'm okay with not being in top 10, but specifically those two that I'm like, man, they really could have been contenders. I think I gotta pull out Candy Frog, man. I really hate to. Guys, Joy Toy is doing incredible work with these figures. They're so well articulated, so well detailed, awesome clothing, really cool gimmicks and effects with their robotics that some of them include. This whole line of figures is well worth the time and attention, and I don't think it gets enough credit because, it cute anime girls and anime things. It's not badass action figures, bro. Get over it. This shit is fire, and if you don't think so, bro, you have zero taste. This figure's dope. The line is dope, but unfortunately, I think I wasn't quite as excited as I was with a lot of these other figures, and I don't think I got quite as much fun out of it. The frustration of the arms falling out and having to be put back in. I think I got to take Candy Frog out, but she almost made it. Alright, only thing left to do at this point is to rank them from number 1 to number 10. And I'm not exactly sure how to do this, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to like grab two figures, compare them, say this one's before this one, and slowly build it and see where that gets us. Starting with these two, I think Wukong has got to go ahead of Monks, so we'll leave them like that. Bring up old Spidey boy, and I think he's got to go. I think he's got to go above or below Wukong, and I think I like that. Feeling good about that. I think at this point I've done enough talking throughout this video, and I appreciate you guys sticking through it with me. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy my top 10 figures of 2023. right, y'all, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little experimental upload. I think that's gonna be a lot of what my videos are gonna be like as I continue to do this thing. By the way, thank you guys for 100 subscribers. We hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year, which was just so fucking awesome. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. And you know, I'm gonna continue to experiment and have fun with these videos and see what I can come up with. But I hope that this video, long form as it was, something you could throw on in the background, was enjoyable. And I think to anybody who figure collects, this is the type of shit we love to see. This is the type of shit I love to watch, and I always try to make something that I myself would enjoy watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. 2023 was an awesome year for figures, and I myself enjoyed diving deeper into this collecting hobby, and I cannot wait for another year of doing it, especially with this YouTube thing going on the side where I can upload random videos about thoughts and things as I have them. So I hope you guys will stick along with me, and again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's going to be all for now, though. Check out my Instagram, I post pics like these, and check out another video where I grab a random figure to talk about, or some shit. I don't know. Bye, y'all.